welcome. Welcome to those who have never seen one of my videos before. Thank you very much. And welcome back to the people who have. A couple of thoughts came to me this morning. And actually, I was asked, why do you make so many videos? Which brought up something else. And this is about, I'll tell you what, let's just put all the political aspirations stuff to one side. Just park it for a minute. And for a very welcome, what I would assume to be a very welcome change, I don't want to talk to you as a politician. I want to talk with you as one human being to another. Because for me, that comes first. Political stuff, yeah, great, important, I get it. But surely, first of all, we have to be able to communicate as one human being to another and just have these conversations. And this is something which is really important to me, to be able to have these conversations with you, to share with you, to bounce ideas around with you, to go through the difficult stuff and then celebrate the good stuff. And in a sense, by doing this, I'm starting as I mean to continue. Because even as elected mayor, I want to be able to talk with you. I want to be able to have these conversations with you. I want to talk over my month or whatever it happens to be at City Hall, what I've done, what we've achieved, what we've yet to do, the difficult decisions, and why I need your help to come to conclusions and decisions about what it is that we need to do. Because it's about us working together. It's about us being on the same page. And like any relationship, it's about wanting the same things and to achieve the same things. Sort of a political marriage, in a sense. But in a democratic Bristol that I would like to see, why would I not want to keep you in the loop? Why would I want to shut you out? Why? I'll tell you why. Because that's what you're used to. You're used to being shut out. You're used to being fed information. That's what you're used to. So why would you, other than the fact that you've been conditioned into not being kept in the loop? So surely, by saying that I want to keep you in the loop, it must make a really refreshing change, something quite different. But it just amazes me that there's a sort of City Hall bubble on one side, and then the people of Bristol on the other. And like most things that happen with councils, it isn't quite joined up, is it? So, as I said, this idea of me coming onto video is starting as I mean to go on when I'm elected, and if I'm elected, hopefully I will be. Because I just feel it's so important that we have this channel of communication between, the person at the top of Bristol City Council and everybody else. And I don't want to be someone who sort of spoon feeds you what I think you need to hear. So yeah, I will be having these conversations with you where I say, look, yeah, it's been a really difficult week this week because of this and because I'm struggling to get around that. So that you're fully informed, as I believe you should be in any relationship. So it kind of leads me on to, why would you vote for me? Because this is a question I've been asking myself. Why would I vote for me? And I'm still working through that one. It's not because I'm not confident in myself or anything like it. It's not to say that I don't believe I can win the election. I just need to be absolutely sure that my motives are the right ones for us all. That's it. Maybe you can give me a hand with this. Maybe this is something we can start to develop and we can start to work through together. Because in my mind, it shouldn't just be about me saying, I want to find irresponsible dog owners for leaving their dog poo on the street. I've had a massive, a lot of support for that by parents who are just or people who are just fed up. And I've had parents who've responded by saying, yeah, well, when I leave my house in the morning and I walk my kids down to the front gate and we open the gate and, we go into the street and the first thing they do is walk into a pile of dog's mess outside my home. So maybe that's probably a very small issue. But to someone else, it's a huge issue. And it's important to them. The same with the Transport Commissioner idea. Lots of people have come on board saying, yes, Bristol does need a Transport Commissioner. But they're just proposals. They're just ideas that I have, which I'm putting out there to you, for you to decide whether you want them or not. But I don't want you, I don't want you to vote for me on one issue and one issue alone. For me, that's the voting on the stuff I believe in is kind of secondary. Because, it's happened with Nigel Farage, all of a sudden he said, right, we're going to do this. And lots of people who probably wouldn't have voted for him at all on other issues said, yeah, we're going to vote for you just on that one alone. But it doesn't make me sort of stop and think that because we can become so passionate about certain things that we're then driven by that passion. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with, I'm very passionate about becoming mayor of Bristol. But I would like to sort of set that side to rest. Because for me, it's more about the person first. And then once you're on board with the person first, then you're on board with all the issues. Does that make sense? Because it does to me. Hopefully I'm not alone, and hopefully you can see where I'm coming from. Because it could happen to any one of the candidates, of my colleagues, on the political platform of Bristol as it stands at the moment. That they could be really passionate about one thing, and that's fine. And you go, yeah, I'm up for that. I'm into that. I'll vote for you on that. But I don't want to be voted in like that, because I want us to have the relationship first. I want us to be actually on the same page first. I want us to be wanting the same things and agreeing on the same things. Because once we've got that side of the relationship sorted out, and we are in agreement, we're on the same, we're on the same page, we're talking, one human to another, then it's time for me to put the proposals out there and say, what do you think of this one? How do you like that one? Is this one important to you? Or is that one more important to you? So for me, it's very much about having this connection, having this dialogue, having these conversations, and learning about certainly you learning about me, because it's going to be difficult for me to learn about you down a webcam, right? But you need to learn about me and where I'm coming from in order for you to then believe we can actually make this city unified and democratic. That's the outcome. But we're never going to reach the outcome unless we get the journey right. And for me, that's the most really the most important part is the journey. Because if we get the journey right, we will inevitably reach the outcome. So this is why, I'm putting those proposals. I'm not going to call it a manifesto, because you know my feeling on manifestos. They rip them up, tear them up. They're not worth the paper they're written on. Very undemocratic. And largely it's about, I'm XYZ, and when I get into power, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the other. And I don't accept that. It's not about me and what I'm going to do. It's about what you and I are going to do together. That's what it's about. My ego shouldn't come into it. I can propose my ideas to you. Fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that, as much as you can propose your ideas to me. And fantastic if you do. But it's kind of dictatorial. I'm going to do this for you without any consultation in the process. No, absolutely not. We've got to get the relationship right from the start. It's no use trying to repair it further on down the road when the damage has been done. We've got to get it right from the very beginning. That's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. But if I don't have you on board with me, we're not going to get anything through. We're not going to make a difference. We're not going to bring real, not just tick box, but real democracy to this city of Bristol. And that's what I want for us. That's what I want for you and for everyone else. I want you to be able to have your say, be heard, be listened to. I've said before, we're not going to get it right all the time. There are times when I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disappoint you. And that's the same in any relationship. We're not going to get our way all of the time. There has to be give and take. There has to be concessions. And we are going to fall out from time to time. But in a democratic society, we have to go with what the majority wants. And sometimes we just have to put ourselves and our own little aspirations to one side because it's for the greater good. And that's the only way we're going to get democracy. The only way we're going to get democracy. So I'm going to keep up this dialogue with you. We're going to keep having this conversation, and you're going to keep feeding back to me and telling me what you think, what you feel, as much as I share with you what I think and what I feel. And we can work through this, and we can do it, and we can make this a democratic city. But as I said, we need to be on the same page first. We need to be heading in the same direction in this political relationship, because that's how it is going to work. I'm not into autocracy at all. We've been there, haven't we? We've done it. You know that. And maybe along the way, you've had a service closed where you are, or something has affected you in some kind of way that's really had an impact on you or where you live. But we cannot make a better Bristol unless we are prepared to work together first, have the relationship first, build that relationship, and then develop it from there. So that's why, I don't want to talk to you as a politician, because, yes, I've been involved in politics for a long time, for many, many years, on and off. But I haven't been molded and shaped to be a sort of political party robot who has to toe the line who has to have a party whip, and all that kind of stuff. I don't need it. That's why I got out of party politics. And that's why I'm now running as an independent. Because I don't have to be a sort of political robot who's moulded and shaped and told to say the right things and all that kind of stuff. That's not me. I'm a human first, the same as you. So I want to be able to talk to you on a human level, then a political level. Politics has kind of lost its humanity in a sense. And it's very easy for those within the political bubble to not really know what's going on outside of that bubble. And to sort of, it sounds as if I'm putting people down or sneering at people now, and I'm absolutely not. You know, trust me, I'm absolutely not. But it's very easy to sort of fall into that space where you kind of grow up and you get married and you have kids and you have the career, you know, and you jump in your car at 7 or 8 or van or whatever it happens to be at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Then you go off and do your job. You come home in the evening, you know, you catch up on a little bit of news and you read the papers and you get a bit off of Facebook and you get a bit off of Twitter. But you don't really see outside of that bubble that you're in. You don't live the experience because your life is very different. You know, and I see politicians going out spending a night sleeping on a bench to create awareness of homelessness. Well, no, actually, I mean, I've been homeless, you know, for many, many years. And if you've read my Naked Truth videos, and sort of seen my Naked Truth videos on YouTube, you'll know the story. But it's all very well leaving your nice, comfortable home with your central heating and all the conveniences and going out and spending a night on a park bench or in a field or park or whatever it happens to be, when the reality is far different. I tell you what, and I will throw this challenge down to any of the politicians out there, is leave home for a week, go out with a rucksack, a few basics, and dress down, and go into the council office, Bristol, disguise yourself if you have to, you know, mess your hair up, look a little bit dishevelled, and go into a council office and say that you're homeless, and say that you've been travelling around the country for the last 6 months, you've got no fixed abode, and you'd like some accommodation. That's where to begin. That's where to begin with it. And spend a week out there, living off the streets, trying to get accommodation in hostels. Don't go out with any money, you know, leave all the money behind, leave all the comforts behind, go out with very, very basics, just the clothes on your back and a rucksack and maybe a change of jeans and a sleeping bag, whatever. Nothing else. Not even a phone. Go out for a week. Try and get accommodation. Try and live without any money. Try and live with the kind of crap that you come up against in the system, or that other people certainly come up against. You know, face those difficulties. Do that for a week. And then come back into civilization, into your home and your central heating and your car and your children, whatever. Then that would matter. One night out on a park bench doesn't really. You know, it's a tick box, isn't it, to be honest? That's all it is. But, you know, I challenge you to go out there for a week. Whoever you are, if you want to be in politics, you understand homelessness, go and experience it firsthand. give a false name to whoever it is. Tell me, you've got no national insurance number. You've got absolutely nothing. You haven't even got a birth certificate because that was lost years ago. Make up some story about having a disastrous life and how you lost your job and how you lost your wife and how you lost your kids and how you ended up on the streets. Because that's the experience of some people. Go and do it. I challenge you to go and do it for a week. That's the real world, outside of the bubble which you live in. That's the harsh reality. So it's no use you sitting in council chambers or wherever it happens to be, spouting on about how you know the difficulties of homeless people. No, you don't. You don't. You can have all the empathy in the world. You can have all the understanding in the world. But unless you've actually physically been out there and done it, you know nothing. Nothing whatsoever. And that bothers me when we get, and it's going to happen. I'm going to be hustings or wherever with people who've got all these wonderful ideas, but have never really experienced anything like it themselves. I can tell, it's on my naked video, YouTube stuff. I can tell you about alcoholism. I can tell you about drug addiction. I can tell you about homelessness. I can tell you about mental health problems. I can tell you about being stuck in psychiatric wards on sections. I can give you the whole story. In fact, it's out there already. But you know what? I've risen from that to politics. I was in the gutter. I was literally sleeping in the gutter. People had given up hope on me. They'd written me off beyond any help. But then, because of my experience, real experience, you know what? I ended up as a commissioner for the Department of Health on mental health issues with an £11 million budget. From the gutter to the top. And I think I'm right in saying, and I stands to be corrected, that I'm probably the only candidate who has the life experience and the political experience at Whitehall level. And that is one of the reasons why I want to become mayor of the city. That's just one of the reasons why I would vote for me. I can tell you about Bristol Link. I can tell you the fact that we put female genital mutilation on the agenda in this city when I was chair of Bristol Link. Somalis, very tribal people in their own environment, their own country, their home country, won't talk to one another. Wouldn't even talk to one tribe of Somali, wouldn't even talk to another tribe of Somali here in Bristol. Because that was their culture. One didn't speak to another, I was told. Yet at Bristol Link, we managed to bring people together in a way that they'd never experienced. And they would come up to us and say, ordinarily I would have never spoken to that person because they're a different, they're a different tribe to us. But you've actually brought us together. And we're now talking. And there were people who were crying because this breakthrough had happened here in Bristol. I can tell you about mental health exhibitions that we organised. I can tell you that in a 3-year project, which is really all it was, funded by the government, by the Department of Health, to bridge the gap between those who provide health and social care services and those who access them. That's what Link was all about. We went from zero to engaging with 50,000 people, an eighth of the city's population, inside 3 years. We achieved that. You know, we connected with community groups and so many people. And it took work, but we did it. So I know in this city I can engage with people. I can bring people together, united in a democratic city. I know I can do that. So there's another reason why I would vote for me in the mayor election. You know, I've achieved things, really achieved things, which I don't think any of the other candidates have done. Why? Because I have that life experience and political experience. So I know that together we can do the most amazing things in the city. I believe that you want the most amazing things in the city. I believe that you and I are both on the same page in saying we've had enough of this very undemocratic city. Now let's be on the same side. Now let's be on the same page. Because I want that for me. I want it for my family. I want it for where I live. They're your reasons, and they are sound reasons. Because you've invested your life, your family, your career, you've invested your heart and soul in this city as a stakeholder. So you have every right to want to have your say, be listened to, have your voice. That's empowering people. That's giving people hope and aspiration for the future. That's what it's doing. The city doesn't have that because it's so divided. It's divided politically, it's divided socially, it's divided financially. It's just a divided city. Look at the city itself. It's in two halves. You've got Cadbury Circus at one end, and you've got this sort of bit of space in between, and then you've got the harbour side at the other end. It's a divided city in every way. But you know what? We can do this. We can do this. We can make a democratic, united city. I know you can. I know you can help me. I know you want to help me because it's what you want for yourself. So get on board. And let's continue to have these conversations. Let's continue to have this dialogue. Because we're not going to get anywhere if we don't. Why would you not want to help me? Seriously, why would you not want to help me to do this? Why would you not want to help me to get out of this autocratic, ridiculously old-fashioned, dated system? And together we can turn the city round. Why would you not want to do that? You live here. You work here. You may have families here. Why would you not want to help me? It's illogical. We can do this. You and me. We can do this. But we've got to get the relationship right from the beginning. And that's now. That is now. I need your support. I need your help. I need you on board with me to help us both get through the difficult times. For us both to celebrate the good times on the same page. And that's why I need you on board now, helping me, and then voting for me on May the 5th. Because I will deliver. I will deliver. Trust me on this. I will deliver. I don't care what barriers are in the way. I don't care what council executives don't like it, because they're free to leave if they're unhappy. Don't let me stop you guys. You know, if you want to put in your CVs now elsewhere, be my guest. Because on May the 5th, this city will become democratic. Wholly, wholly democratic. Thanks for your time, and we'll speak again soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.